welcome back to another episode of NFT Artist Spotlight, hosted by AstroZero. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks.
Today on Twitter Spaces, our special guest is an NFT project that is a collection of radioactive flowers. The name of the project is DigiBudz. Welcome to our Spaces. Can you guys tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you into NFTs and what made you decide to create this collection?
Yeah, sure. I'll talk first about how I, discovered what NFTs are. So actually, I know, the main NFT space, most people talk through Twitter, but I actually discovered NFT art on Instagram. There's this one artist I follow, you guys may know, Fido's art. He does this like really trippy, kind of, I don't want to say landscape, but it's just like surreal looking skies, landscape, nature. If you've seen it, you know his work. It's pretty distinct. So yeah, that's how I got into it. And I just, first it was from the art perspective. And then of course, I knew about crypto and whatnot, but after seeing that, just getting into it, that's how I got here, going into the PFPs too. Faisal, do you want to say anything, or Jonathan?
In terms of how I got into the NFT space, mostly on my side, it's from having interest in development of NFTs, and then also just development in general on blockchain. Did a lot of development on the blockchain, and then met up with Suchi and Faisal and started to get interest in creating the NFT project.
Is this the first NFT project that you guys started on, or have you done ones in the past?
I've done other crypto stuff in general. A lot of other NFT work, not really generating NFTs, more on the buying and selling side of it, and interacting with different marketplaces.
What made you guys go the flower route? A lot of people are going like cats or chimps or apes. Not many,
I'll answer that one.
I'll
answer that one, no problem. So actually, so just a little bit about myself. I kind of do art more as like, it's a fun thing for me to do. It's really therapeutic, and I just enjoy drawing things that don't really exist. So one day I actually created a cute little creature that I wanted to call, and I used the phrase this phrase, take time to stop and smell the roses. Well, I was thinking, take time to stop and lick the roses, because I like, a little weirdness to my art. So it was kind of based on that phrase, and it was a little it kind of resembled a DigiBud, but of course I refined it now. So really that's how I first drew a DigiBud. But the backstory, yeah, DigiBuds aren't really animals. They're not humans. And so it kind of made sense to have, a cool backstory like that. If you take a look at the NFTs, you can kind of see, I want to celebrate digital art, and you can tell that it's digital art by some of the glitchy effects. That's another aspect. The backstory for those that don't know. So DigiBuds were once a field of wildflowers. They were tainted by radioactive byproducts from a secret underground lab, and the results after they bloomed were these DigiBuds. So that's kind of the backstory there. Just kind of my own weirdness. And I mean, honestly, my inspirations are things like Neopets, Pokemon. When I was younger, I really liked Lisa Frank. So, all those colors. But in general, yeah, nothing against animals or anything. But I, even when I draw animals, it's usually ones that don't exist. I think I have a bunny pig on my Instagram. I kind of just like that weird vibe. I do like pop surrealism, some of that lowbrow, and just kind of that fun type of art. So I think with my style, this kind of art makes more sense, as it's still a little, illustration wise, but it's not full on 2D cartoon.
Kind of a weird question here, but do you guys play video games?
I do sometimes, but I feel like that would be more Faisal.
Yeah.
Why? What's up?
Because as soon as I saw radioactive, the first thing that popped into my head was the video game Fallout. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but that's what popped in my head when I saw that you had radioactive flowers.
Oh yeah, no, I've definitely have a lot of friends that are super into that and all the expansion packs. But no, I definitely see the similarities. But I was more of the World of Warcraft guy, and spent probably wasted more than half my life on it, and just MMOs and then probably Halo and first person shooters. But no, Fallout, that's definitely radioactive there.
So your guys' whitelist is closing soon, right?
Yes, our whitelist is. Oh, by the way, this is Faisal speaking right now. Our whitelist will be closing on the 13th, and with that, one of our main priorities is accessibility for our community. So we made the criteria for the whitelist somewhat simple. And all you would have to do is follow us on Twitter, join our Discord, and invite 2 friends with your personal invite link. And we, add you immediately to the whitelist as soon as you DM'd me. Right now, we're able to add people straight from the contract that we've achieved so far. Our smart contract was actually released the other day, with Jonathan and his team finishing up the work on that. They did a really, really, really good job. They've been working on it for the last 3 months. But sorry, I digress. Yes, to answer your question, we did. Our whitelist does end on the 13th, a day before our pre-sales drop.
What's the total amount of DigiBuds that you guys are releasing?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
What's the total amount of DigiBuds that you guys are releasing?
10,000, and 5 of them will be super rares. We call them super buds.
Okay. Can you go a little bit more into detail about the rarity and the super buds?
Yeah, sure. I'll take this one. So the super buds, I've only released one kind of to show for the public eye, but one kind of looks like this scrambled egg. But to get on with the main DigiBuds, there's kind of 2 main head shapes you'll see. The one on our PFPs right now, they're called drop heads. And then, so I have on my personal account, Spicy Stimuli, you can see the version with the splat head. So really there's going to be 2 main shapes. And then color wise, it's going to be either blue, salmon, yellow, purple, orange, or green. And then even further among those, about 15% of the NFT DigiBuds will have a melt skin. So that's when they look a little extra trippy. Neither of my profile pictures have it, by the way, but my Spicy Stimuli one does. And then there'll be also just a handful of not super rare, but pretty rare, as in less than 50 each of these really trippy DigiBud heads, and they're kind of like rainbow vibes. I don't think I've released any of those examples yet either. But in terms of traits, other than heads, we'll have eyes, mouth, object, glove, shirt, orb, and cheeks. And cheeks, about 25% of the DigiBuds won't have cheeks. Yeah, that's kind of in terms of the traits. So there's really 9 main traits, or 9 main attributes, and a little over 150 total traits.
So you're going to be doing your minting on Polygon, right? I think you guys are the first artist that I've interviewed on Polygon, if I could remember.
Oh yeah, yep.
Uh,
Yep, we're releasing on Polygon. Originally we were on the ETH platform, but then, we realized, we thought it was best to try out Polygon. It's a gas-free transaction, still using ETH wrapped Ethereum. So we're really excited to move to Polygon, yeah.
I think it has a lot of advantages personally, over, especially when you're a newer project. Maybe if somebody like a Mutant Ape Yacht Club were to drop a new project, ETH would be advantageous towards them because they could set a high floor price. But I think for newer artists, gas is definitely a concern. If you're gonna put something out, let's say a $40 piece, and then you're paying $200 on gas, it kind of deters people, I think, in my opinion at least, from purchasing that NFT.
Yeah, no, that was kind of our thing. Yeah, we wanted to make the experience as efficient as possible on your wallet. And we've also, on our website, we've set up steps to try to make it more seamless, because we do realize it is an extra step. We're also giving out free Matic for those that are unable to attain it or just don't want to. Usually when you bridge your Ethereum, I think You get a little bit of Matic for free anyway, but little things like that we're gonna try to help out because it is not as intuitive as an ETH purchase.
All right. When is the official launch going to be after the whitelisting?
The official launch will be 48 hours after the pre-sale, so it will be on December 16th, approximately 10 p.m. Central Time. And that's, we're going to have a Discord party. I've got the tune set up. We've got everything, prepared for that night to have that launch. We're excited for it.
What are you setting the white price at, and what is the public sale price going to be?
Okay, so the whitelisted prices, the unit price will be 0.04 wrapped Ethereum plus that really, really tiny amount of Matic. And the public sales will be a discount model pricing structure. And the transaction options that you'll have is either a single DigiBud, 3 DigiBuds, or 10 DigiBuds. And it'll start at 0.06 wrapped Ethereum and, be discounted as you buy more. But yes, we're doing a 1-3-10 model with that.
For people that are unfamiliar with purchasing NFTs on the Polygon network, are they able to use the same wallet as they would in ETH, like Trust Wallet and MetaMask?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Jonathan.
Okay. Yeah, so you'd be able to use the same MetaMask wallet that you have. The only thing that they're going to need to do is set up Polygon and then bridge their Ethereum over. And if you look in our FAQ, there's steps to do that. Most of those steps are using Polygon's website to bridge the ETH and show you how to set up your MetaMask. But yes, you would use your same wallet, and your address actually stays the same as well.
So you would just be changing the mainnet that you're going to be buying on.
Correct.
Very cool. All right, let's start with the roadmap here. After the first 1,000 DigiBuds that are sold, you guys are going to be releasing rarity rankings. Are you going to be doing that for every 1,000 that you release, or is it going to be instantaneous after the first 1,000 for every one after that?
So our goal is for it to be instantaneous after 1,000 are actually there, and then it'll adjust accordingly. That's our plan. Yeah.
Okay, I've seen projects in the past where after the first 1,000, the rarities get updated until 2,000 or 3,000 or so on and so forth. So just curious how that's going to work.
Yeah.
How are people going to be able to calculate the rarity? Is it going to be through something like Rarity Sniper on Discord?
Yeah, so that was one of our options. We were looking into a couple different sites because we know, they have a little bit different rarity calculations, but Rarity Sniper is one we're looking at. Rarity Tools will unfortunately be not. Originally, we were going to go with Rarity Tools, but they're kind of against Polygon projects, it seems. So we're not going to be able to be listed on there. But we looked at Rarity Sniper and a couple others. That was kind of the direction we were going at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Rarity Tools is against anything that's not Ethereum. I haven't seen any other types of projects on there, no Solana or anything.
Right, exactly. I should have said non-ETH.
All right, so after 2,500 of your DigiBuds are sold, you're going to start doing airdrops to 50 verified holders. How are you doing the selection process for that? Is it going to be something that's like random number generators for whoever bought specific ones? How are you going to calculate who gets what?
Yeah, so I can answer that. So at 2,500 sold, there's an automatic call that happens to Chainlink VRF to get a random number. That random number is then returned, and then we're able to use that random number with module to select 50 different token IDs. We store those on chain, and then we will be gifting out, airdropping out to those 50 addresses. So they'll be to existing token holders.
That's another big advantage of being on Polygon. Airdrops are pretty much doesn't cost a thing, so it kind of helps everybody all the way around.
Yeah, it's a big advantage for a lot of things. Even with using Chainlink, using Chainlink on an Ethereum was actually not going to be really that possible for us, just in terms of pricing. And is probably one of the reasons that we initially started looking into Polygon and moving over to Polygon is, needed a better cost-effective Oracle service.
So if somebody goes and they purchase, let's say, DigiBud 1100, and then they go and they put it on the secondary market, does the new wallet still qualify for the airdrop of first 2,500?
So it would be whoever owns the token at that time.
Okay,
So yeah, so if it moved over, if you had sold it to somebody else, that person would be the one that would be eligible at that point.
Okay, so it would be routed specifically to specific entities.
Yep.
Okay. At 50%, you're going to be doing a raffle for 5 holders. What kind of prizes are you giving away?
Yeah, so a lot of it we're going to kind of just want to ask the community to see, what they're interested in. But we're thinking kind of in the realm of anything from, some really nice electronics, even maybe some festival passes, like music festival passes, just kind of see, like what would people like, because every community is different. So we're kind of brainstorming a few different ideas on that. And we'll even have the community chime in. That was kind of our goal at that point.
All right, we're just going to keep cruising down this roadmap. 75%, it's saying that you guys are going to focus on growing awareness towards mental health problems. Any specific goal that you have going here as far as donations, community involvement? How are you going to go about this?
Yeah, so we're planning on doing a 10 ETH donation, and it's going to be a community chosen charity again, but we've already kind of picked a few out that they could choose from, but we're also open to suggestions. Some of the ones that we have in mind are the Teen Project, Mental Health America, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, Logout Center for Digital Wellbeing, and Whole School Mindfulness. And I believe all of them take Ethereum. So that's one of the requirements we had. So that's really nice.
There's a lot of mental health awareness I've seen in the NFT space. Is it something that one of the team members has struggled with in their life? Or is it something that maybe a family member has struggled with that made you decide that you wanted to go this route?
Yeah, so I've struggled with my mental health probably since I was 16 years old. I'm 27 for reference, so a little over 10 years. I've been diagnosed with all sorts of things to the point where it's such a subjective topic, even for medical professionals, that I get everything is a spectrum, depression, bipolar. The only difference between the two is one, you get mania. Things like that. So I've been dealing with issues kind of for a long chunk of my life. Also, my sister committed suicide in 2016. Faisal's had a friend that's overdosed. So, those are some instances that hit really close to us. So really, you're right, a lot of projects do say mental health awareness, but what does that really mean? For us, that means, just acknowledging that these hurdles exist and kind of destigmatizing the conversations around it. So today's Thursday. So 2 days ago, we hosted our first Therapeutic Tuesday. And it was really just a session where I invited people to just come talk about whatever. I mean, it could be your life story, just something you're struggling with, even just really anything. And it was a super organic type of conversation. Someone brought up their anxiety. Someone talked about coping mechanisms and weird symptoms that aren't generally part of anxiety, and things that aren't as stereotypical that you'd read online. Like anxiety, most people think it's just oh, you're worrying too much and you're just you just need to calm down and breathe. But anxiety for some people is literally only physical. You can mentally be okay and you go to the doctor, you try to get an EKG, nothing's wrong with you. Really talking about people with that struggle, because we've dealt with that. So, I mean, I'm not a therapist by any means, but throughout the years, I've definitely developed a lot of coping mechanisms, and I'm in a much better place than I used to be. So I just kind of want to give back to those struggling, because I remember when I first started struggling, like I didn't even know what was going on. I'm like, why is my body so tired? Like, why am I sleeping 14 hours a day? Like, I didn't understand, you know? So, and it just felt like I felt so silly because it wasn't caused by anything specific. So I was kind of in denial for a while, and it really took a toll on me. And it's just kind of, yeah, it's just scary to start dealing with those things. So I just want to have a platform where people can come talk, because sometimes people don't have anyone in their real lives. And I also have on Discord a real talk channel, basically kind of the same thing as the Therapeutic Tuesdays, except anyone in there can kind of talk about whatever. However, I also give the option for people to message me privately for me to post on their behalf, because sometimes it's just, you don't want to be yourself. You know, you want advice, but you're not ready to talk about it with your own account or anything. So yeah, that's kind of how we're addressing it. You know, of course, the donation as well in our roadmap, but like really going out there and actually interacting with the community.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that, you know, some part of our vision is for, you know, in the future when we see some DigiBud holders, if somebody's rocking a DigiBud PFP on their profile, you know, someone could look at that and be like, okay, that's somebody that I could go to and, you know, talk to and, you know, have a safe space with, and, you know, they seem like an advocate that would sympathize with what I'm going with, so I'll feel comfortable reaching out to them. So that's kind of the vision that we have.
Yeah, like if you guys know that if you're in the US, the McGruff houses like that, except like it's safe space for, you know, talking about whatever.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the most important thing that you can do for somebody is just sit there and listen. Myself personally, for a large part of my adult life, I struggled with alcoholism and drug addiction. Thankfully, I was able to, you know, get my life in order and get through, you know, the difficulties that I dealt with. But I definitely struggled with a lot of depression, suicidal thoughts when I was going through it, even when I was coming off it. You know, for quite some time, I would say a good 6 months after I stopped drinking and doing like my, I don't really like sharing too much, but I used to be both a cocaine and heroin addict, and I was a pretty severe alcoholic. And when I stopped doing all this stuff 10 years ago, you know, the hardest thing about recovery is that you get your feelings back, because for all that time I was numbing my feelings and I wasn't really dealing with anything in life. Every day was just, you know, get high, get drunk, don't deal with shit, and continue the next day. And you know, like being in a 12-step program now, they say to you, you know, like the best part about getting off drugs and alcohol is getting your feelings back, and the worst part about being off drugs and alcohol is getting your feelings back. And I understand, like now personally, like I feel that I have to give back to people in order to keep it. So I totally understand where you guys are going, where you say that, you know, I have to, you know, just listen to people sometimes. That's all people really need. You know, just give them a space to hear you out, or, you know, maybe I'm having a bad day sometimes and I just got to voice how I feel, and that's important too. So I really commend you guys on doing that, you know, and it's cool that you leave the space open so people could like chit chat with you, even if it's something stupid. Sometimes we build huge mountains out of little molehills. So really awesome that you guys are doing stuff like that.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And that's exactly the sentiment behind all of it. You know, like, yeah, I haven't dealt with addiction, but exactly dealing with my mental health struggles, knowing that, you know, how terrible it can be. Hoping that sharing my story and being so open about it will help people acknowledge it and also share their stories. And I feel like that alone can kind of help you cope with it in general.
So once you guys sell out of your DigiBuds, it said that you're creating a treasury fund. Can you go into a little bit of detail about how that's going to work?
Yeah, so I'll give a little information on both 75% and 100%. So if you look inside of our contract, you can actually see that the transfers to both the charity address and to the treasury address will be automated. So, you know, we're not rug pulling anybody with funds. What we're saying is within the contract, and you can see that those funds are going to get sent out to where they're supposed to get sent out. The treasury fund will be use for future development of new DigiBudz offshoots of it. There may be a ERC20 token coming. Just kind of future development and future features.
Future futures. So talking about future futures, is there going to be any other projects that you guys have going on down the line? Once you maybe sell out of this, are you going to do a second generation? Is there going to be a different type? Is there going to be like DigiPlant or?
No, exactly right. If depending on the direction of our project, of course, yeah, that was definitely our plan. Some type of offshoot little bud. I have some ideas in the works, but don't want to promise anything yet. So, because we still have to release the DigiBudz.
Do you guys collect NFTs as well as make them?
Yeah, we do. Jonathan does too. Faisal does too. We all do. Yes.
What are some projects that you guys have been aping into recently?
One specifically that I aped into recently that I like is Brain Vomit. They're another flower project, actually, and I love the gritty art style. And I don't know if you guys have heard of them, but I just really like the vibe of their Discord too, and just the vibe of the artist. So it's kind of more like a artist crush type of thing from my perspective, but really good investment too.
How about you, Jonathan?
Well, for me, mostly recently I did ... That's a very interesting project. Has a lot of like clues and treasure hunts and, more than just the NFT itself. So it's a pretty fun project. And then I also invest a lot in the Wax platform also. Do a lot of the play to earn games there.
Do you guys feel that like utility is absolutely necessary now in the NFT space because there's so many NFT projects out now?
I don't know that it's needed. I think that if you're not thinking about it, I think you're not setting yourself up for failure, but you're not letting yourself, think outside the box. So as of right now, we don't have utility, but we are thinking utility. And we are thinking of what, ways we can make these DigiBudz turn into something that's either gamified or, there's so many different options that you can go with. So I think that it's not required, but it's something that you should all be thinking about for sure.
This is going to sound dumb, but I'm all about saying dumb things. Do you think it would be a good idea possibly to have maybe some sort of pollination for your DigiBudz and have them evolve into flowers?
Well, they were flower buds before, and this is the pollination.
well, like full bloomed flowers, or you can have like DigiSunflowers.
That's funny because I've definitely on my Instagram. I only have I didn't post much. My goal was more for personal, but I actually have it like an animated or like a cartoon flower on there. That's funny. I mean, no, I've made potentially I'm definitely not against in the contract somehow implementing some sort of initiative to like evolve your DigiBud in some way. Like that's definitely been a thought.
So what's been the most useful tool for you guys to build a community? Has it been your Discord channel?
No, I'd say it's definitely Twitter and even more specific, Twitter Spaces. Like, I mean, it's just, I think that's in a community where, where we're all like typing, Twitter Spaces is a bit different. It's a little bit more conversational and it kind of puts a real, it feels more real. Like we're real people here, we're not just some bots or something. And I think that plus, I do have to give a shout out to like the Polygon community in general. They've been nothing but great, and kind of everyone in the community is just all like-minded. We just all want to support each other. And one of the main hosts is like Beluga, and I think a lot of the Polygon communities knows Beluga. So just really Twitter Spaces, I'd say, is the best. Lurking in Discords, making friends there, that's definitely good and necessary too. But I think Twitter Spaces has been essential for us, and that's really been what's gotten the most growth for us.
Yeah, I go into the Polygon Twitter Spaces every once in a while, and I see Beluga, and there's the other guy. What's his name?
Dave.
Swole. Is it Swole?
Oh, I was gonna say Dave. He's part of Goons, Crypto Goons. Yeah.
Yeah, I go in there once in a while, and that community is huge. They usually have one of the bigger spaces that's going on regular on a daily basis. So there's a whole lot of support going on there. But yeah, those guys they're pretty kick ass.
Yeah, they're very big on community. They're honestly, yeah, Beluga is a leader in community. Not only in the Polygon space, but I'd say in the NFT space. Yeah.
So, what are some of the difficulties you guys had in creating this project that you might be able to give some pointers to newer people in the NFT space that they could maybe avoid?
I would say go with Polygon rather than going with Ethereum to start with. The amount of cost that you're going to look at to launch an NFT project, going with Ethereum is really quite large, and especially if you want to expand it and really have it be, have a lot of functionality.
Anyone have any questions for the DigiBudz? If you do, shout it out or raise your hand. I'll bring you up to the box here. Raj always has questions.
No, you guys are very good at explaining everything.
Thank you. I would like to say that, feel free to look at our contract if you have any questions or if you'd like any explanations on that. You can send us a DM or join our Discord and ask in there. We're very open to discussing our work and, enjoy discussing what we've put all of our effort into.
Go ahead, Adele.
Yeah, by the
So
way,
exciting.
guys, yeah, it was really impressive. Just keep listening. By the way, as I said, I just want to to sleep, but after I just start listening, it was like impossible going to sleep without having more information about your project, guys. It's really impressive. I do not have a lot of questions because you already answered the most questions from Elon. So good luck, guys. It's really a good project with great potential. And if you think about utility, you can make that too. Sorry. So it's all about thinking out of the box. And I really appreciate your vision and idea to help other people by going to no-profit organization up there in America. It's really something because I believe in my mind you can do something for someone in any time or anywhere. So yeah, thank you guys, and you got my support. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, appreciate. I really appreciate the kind words. Yeah, look, check out. If you want to keep in touch, just give us a follow on Twitter. We're super happy to talk with you as always. And thanks for joining. Yeah.
FDZ, you got a question?
Yeah, I stepped away for a second, and you may have already answered this, but how many, who all's on your team and what are your roles?
Yeah, so I'll start. So I'm Suchi, and I am the artist of DigiBudz. I'm known as Spicy Stimuli on Twitter. And then we have Faisal, who's our execution and also marketing. And then we have Jonathan and Angel, who are our developers. Angel.
How did you guys put your team together, or did you did the art come first or did the team come first? I'm just kind of curious about the process.
So I think both really kind of came together around the same time. One of my good friends introduced me to Jonathan's company, Team True Tech, and they do a lot of software, a lot of. If you wanted to speak more on that, Jonathan, you're more than welcome to. But basically, we just met him through his company, and I shared like an overview of our project, and he's, him and his team were very interested. And just by our first conversation, our first phone call together, it seemed like, ideas were kicking. We were very compatible as far as a working relationship. And, the rest was history. And, this was a little over 3 months ago. And, we've been working together ever since. So, yeah, we like it.
Cool. Yeah, because I'm a new NFT artist. I just launched my first NFT on Disrupt.art, which is a new platform, and I've been kind of like going through Twitter Spaces and like asking people about essentially like putting a team together or if that's necessary. I'm gonna direct this at the artist. Did you mint anything as an independent, like on your own before you decided to join up with the team?
Oh yeah, no, I was into NFTs before. I will say like now I'm like super super into NFTs, but like yeah, art is what got me into it. And also by the way, full disclosure, so Faisal and I are dating, so we're living together. That's why we're here together, and that's how we met Jonathan. So just in case that was a little bit confusing.
Yeah, and in terms of building a development team, I do think that that's something that's very important. There's a lot of guides out there, a lot of people that tell you they can do it in a week or two, and you really need to have a team that understands everything that's going on and what you're really looking to have done. To me, that's very important. I think that there's a lot of people that try to go the quick and dirty way and find out later that that's a real big problem. And the other developer that's not on the call but works with me on this is a developer that I've worked with for over 18 years. So him and I have a really good relationship, and that's something that's important when you're working on a project like this.
Veggie Mates, you requested to come up. You have a question.
Yeah, more of a comment. So I was listening earlier, and you guys were talking about the mental health, and I couldn't agree more. Like, I think a lot of projects use it as a buzzword, but they don't really like do anything about it. And so it's just really cool because I literally like 30 minutes before I jumped on this space, we just did an announcement, and actually put like the national crisis hotline out there. And I think that's like one of the big opportunities we have in this NFT space is like, I know for somebody like me, I have a really hard time in my real life talking to people, especially like I feel like I got to be strong and it shows weakness. But online, I could be a little bit more vulnerable because I'm less guarded. I'm not worried about people judging me. And like I literally just sent a DM to one of my members, and I said like, screw the floor price. If we could save one person's life, I don't really care what the price of this is. So it's just like really cool to hear that it's something that is more than a buzzword or a marketing term for you guys. So I just want to let you know, like I back that 100%.
Great, I appreciate that.
Oh, I was just talking on mute. I was just talking on mute, but I was saying, no, thanks for coming up here and sharing, a little bit about yourself and why it impacts you. And yeah, exactly. Like it is kind of just a buzzword for many projects. And sometimes I'm like, so what are they doing? Like, I feel the same way. And we didn't want to be that, like, as Jonathan said, we are working on further utility. But right now, like our main focus is community. Like that's what we've been building. And we want to make sure we're doing one thing right before adding another,
And I just want to make a quick comment. You were talking about the crisis hotline, and that got me thinking. I was looking at other projects, and Crypto Goons, Dave on the Polygon space, he was talking about how their Discord has a 911 bot to where if somebody utilizes it, it'll immediately contact every member of the team on different platforms. And I think that is something that I'm going to be looking into really closely. Because I do want it to where availability isn't an issue. And I know with every growing project, it's an exponential growth, right? And just if you're looking at it from a realistic standpoint, if you're flooded with DMs, who do you talk to first? What were your priorities? So I want to separate, I want to try to funnel some of that priorities in some, utility based way to where real life utility to where people can get the help that they need. And if this is our brand, we want to supply that the best way we can.
The Crypto Goons guys are great. We had them on here back in October, I believe. Really super cool, awesome guys that had a lot to say, and they do. They have a really great message. And like you were saying with the whole, you get in contact with them anytime you really need somebody. I think that's super important. And, going back to what you're saying, where people use it as a buzzword, I say it to our team all the time. It kind of pisses me off, and I've said it to a few people that I'm close with on our team, that it's almost like people are just saying it to just say it, but what are you really doing to help? And that's what it really comes down to. Like, I could say things until my face turns blue. I could say that I'm gonna do something for cystic fibrosis, but until I go out there and I do something for it, what am I really doing other than just words? And like what you guys are saying with mental health, like until you actually put some action into it, all you're doing is talking shit. And it kind of like it agitates me a little bit. I'm glad that like people are getting a little bit more vocal about talking about their mental health, but until you really do something, I don't think you should really pin it on your name. Sorry for getting a little bit off on a tangent, but it does upset me sometimes when people use stuff like that. That's really serious stuff to like the advantage of a project. I think it's kind of gross.
Well, sorry. It's like insulting too to people who are going through something, right? And it's like to use that as a marketing ploy. It's like it's honestly pathetic. But I could just tell that you guys are really serious about it. And honestly, like I've had a couple projects reach out to me and say, "Hey, we saw you have this mental health. We care about that too." And then I look and like there's nothing about it anywhere, and it's like, okay, so you guys are just literally using that to build a partnership. And to me, that's a sad thing, because like when I think about this stuff, it makes me tear up, because when I have a member reach out to me and say, "Hey, I really appreciate that you guys had that conversation," or like yesterday even somebody reached out and was like, "I need to talk to somebody. Is there like a licensed professional?" We've had members like raise their hand who are, and it's like that stuff matters so much. And yeah, just to like, sorry, not to beat up on these people, but like if anyone in here is thinking about using that as a marketing term, you're a bad person. That's all I gotta say.
We could beat up on people like that. Don't worry. Go ahead, Adele.
Yeah, I just want to say something to Biggie. He's right, because we find sometimes some spaces or some group of people that trying to speak about something deep or something like made you and trust to what they saying, and try to get your support and going on. So I've been in one space. I will not mention the name, but they talking about helping people and everything. So I got interested to get there and to listen to them and to participate and even to retweet and everything. But after days, I figure out that they are just selling these NFTs, music NFTs and everything. They just made it as a marketing strategy. It's not about the big about the cause, sorry, or something good for other. It's just about getting more sales and everything. And I'm sorry just to point on that.
Yeah, and I will say, we do see a lot of projects like that, and sometimes you have to think like, I mean, I'll just give them the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes I feel like people just don't know how, like they'll say they're mental health advocates, they might have anxiety, they might have depression, but like I agree, yeah, if you're not doing anything or even, trying, it's like it looks bad, not saying these people necessarily aren't struggling with these issues, because so many people deal with them, so that's why I think, when we're trying to launch DigiBudz and, grow our community, like that's why the community is really important. And that's like just our huge focus. And we wanted to just kind of really have a true space where people can come and feel welcome. And of course, we started trying to do that first, talking about, we're mental health advocates. Okay, here's the charity. Okay, that's not enough, but so we'll add a real talk channel. That's how it happened, and then that happened next. We haven't had too much response in there, and we really are serious about this. So we wanted to show it in another way. So that's why I wanted to host a Therapeutic Tuesday, because I think Twitter Spaces is where people engage more. I think you asked earlier, where's our main engagement? It is Twitter Spaces. So I just like really wanted to put my hand out there and show that, like, yeah, I'm here for the NFT community and not just in an NFT way. So yeah, projects really do have to do their due diligence and try. Doesn't necessarily mean they don't care, but I think a lot of people just don't know how to show it.
What time do you do your Therapeutic Tuesdays?
So yeah, there's not a set time. Yesterday I think it was at 7. Yeah, but it's on Tuesdays. It's usually Tuesday evenings is what we're thinking. But next Tuesdays are pre-sales, so we might not have the bandwidth. We'll stay tuned. We'll let you know. But yeah, it kind of varies. But usually in the evenings, and we're in Central Time. So if that means anything.
How was the turnout on it this past Tuesday?
Sorry?
How was the turnout this past Tuesday? Did you have a good amount of people there?
Oh yeah, so it was actually our first Therapeutic Tuesday session, and it was about 10ish people. So it wasn't a huge turnout, but I've got to say I was so happy. Like, it went exactly how I wanted. Like, everyone was there, and I started off to kind of make people comfortable, of course, and we had one of my best friends in real life join, who's just getting into NFTs because of me. She joined too, and of course, like other NFT pals, we have a couple people we didn't know either. But by the end of the call, like, it felt like we all knew each other, and like no one, like, we were talking about really personal things, like someone's talking about their divorce, just like anything. And it felt like I already knew them. Like, it was just nice. So yeah, we're hoping for more of a turnout, and I understand, a lot of people don't know me, so it's like, why would I want to join? But that's kind of our goal. We want to get ourselves known. So you want to actually join and know that we're true advocates and we're here for people.
Just going back before I forget to say this, maybe I came off a little bit harsh, but maybe there's just a lack of education for what people actually recognize as mental health. I mean, sure, you could be depressed if you break up with your significant other, if your boyfriend or your girlfriend cheats on you, if you lose your job, you might be depressed. But I think we need to really raise awareness towards people that actually have full disabilities from some of these mental illnesses that they have, like obsessive compulsive disorder and stuff like that. Some people, they can't even have a job because of stuff like this. And I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, you might be a little bit sad here and there, but maybe some people just confuse, being upset with really full blown like mental health problems. And I don't know if I came off a little harsh with the way I was saying things before, but maybe it's just educational awareness is maybe the first step that we need in order to get it out, and have people just be able to talk about it and not feel so uncomfortable, saying how they feel.
Yeah, I completely agree. When, there's something in your life causing the depression, it's a little bit easier to talk about because, there's a cause. It's like, or you're anxious about, something specific too. Like, it's different when you're just experiencing it for seemingly no reason. I completely understand. I mean, it's not a competition, which is worse. But yeah, like it really is different. Like exactly as you said, it's a true disability. I like to give kind of like it's kind of like a disability analogy. So like, if you guys have ever heard of the spoon theory, people with invisible disabilities, they tend to have less spoons, and spoons are essentially the energy we have to do things. And a lot of the time, people with invisible disabilities, not just mental health, but like mental health, of course, is included, but like your spoons change on a daily basis, and you only have so many spoons you're able to use. And so that's something that a lot of people don't understand. Like I'm really glad you said that, because it it really is a true disability. Like, exactly, when I was super depressed, like, I physically couldn't wake up, it felt like. When I experience anxiety, like, I get dyspnea, which is like the feeling of not getting enough oxygen. Like, I'm at work and I have to go to the bathroom because I feel like I'm being a weirdo in public, and like trying to breathe, just trying to breathe. And it's like, it's stressful. And, everyone has their own version of that. Well, not everyone, but a lot of us that deal with mental illnesses. So yeah, no, I'm really glad you said the disability thing, because that's exactly kind of my point, in the general types of discussions I wanted to have. Yeah.
Very cool. Have you guys done any giveaways with your project to your community?
Yeah, we've done DigiBudz giveaways, and actually we surprised all of the giveaway winners. They all have their DigiBuds in their wallets now. Airdropped all of the current winners.
Yeah, and yeah, we did a surprise airdrop for the current giveaway winners, and they won't be revealed till the 16th. So they're like, if you went to the OpenSea and looked at those images, it shows blooming in progress. You've got a nice little cute GIF going on over there. But with current giveaways, we actually have 2 collab giveaways happening at the moment. One of them is with Subducks. For those of you who don't know them, a friend of mine is on that project. They're a blue chip Ethereum project, and they got these really dope ducks and frogs and toads. So we're decided to give away 2 of their frogs, and it's still going. That's going to go till our launch date. I think there's already like almost 700 engagement on there, or 700 retweets. But then we're also doing a collab join for join giveaway with Crypto Goons. I know we've mentioned them quite a few times already. They're awesome. We love their team. They love us. It's a good relationship. And yeah, with the join for Discord, we're giving away one of our DigiBuds, and they'll give away one of their Zomgoons, which they actually just released those yesterday. So they're promoting that as well, and I think it was a good timing on both of our parts.
So, have you guys decided to do any in the future partnerships with any of these other NFT projects, or is it kind of just like a co-marketing deal that you have right now?
So I'm not going to say we have anything definitive right now. We have, some projects we're talking about for true potential collabs in the future. But right now, come launch time, nothing specific set in stone yet. But we do have a couple groups and projects like that we're talking to. Yeah.
Very cool. Aiden, do you have any questions for them?
Oh man, I just woke up and came in here. I'm sorry. I'm following and getting caught up.
All right. Anybody else have any questions for the DigiBuds? Want to come up and give a shout out? Just say hi. All right. Well, we're getting towards the top of the hour. Can you tell everybody once again how they would get onto your whitelist?
Yeah, sure. So right now we're keeping it pretty simple. We just want to, it's kind of just a thanks for our early supporters. Since there's no gas fee with Polygon, you just get a discount on our whitelist. But to get on the whitelist, all you have to do is follow us on Twitter and invite 2 people to our Discord using your personal invite link. And if someone needs help with that, you can reach out to any of us.
All right, very cool. I'm pretty much tapped out with questions. I usually can only go for an hour before I start losing track of myself.
I understand. No worries.
Yeah, so I just wanted to thank you guys. Everybody, check out their website. It's DigiBudz, DigiBudz.io. The whitelist is still going on for the next few days, and then they're going to be launching on the 16th at 10 p.m. Central Time. Follow them on Twitter. Drop in their Discord, say hi to them, and just remember, if you're having a hard day, there is no weakness in talking about it. That's only strength when you reach out and you ask for a helping hand. So I really want to thank you guys for coming here. talking with our community, telling us about your project, and I wish you the best of luck in the future. And whenever you want, feel free to stop by. We do these things all the time.
Yeah, thanks so much for hosting us on your platform. You have a really great group audience, and I really enjoyed all the questions and comments, and hearing people talk about how mental health has impacted their life too, and not just talking about a project. I like that. So thank you so much.
Thank you too, and I hope you have a great night. Thanks for everybody that stopped by. Appreciate it, and once again, check out the DigiBudz, DigiBudz.io, and that's DigiBudz with a Z. So really looking forward to the great things you guys have in store, and thank you again. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.